The insurance regulator has set an ambitious target of insurance for all by 2047. But there is another target which the stakeholders of Indian insurance ecosystem have been setting for themselves each day, and that is awareness for all. On this Insurance Awareness Day, we are joined by an eminent panel to speak about the role of insurance in our lives and, more importantly, the role of awareness in insurance. Joining me today is Ritesh Kumar, co-chair FICCI National Committee on Insurance, Bhargav Dasgupta, chairman FICCI National Committee on Insurance, Prashant Tripathy, again co-chair FICCI National Committee on Insurance, and finally Prasun Sikdar, co-chair FICCI Task Force on Health Insurance. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on CNBC-TV18 today. To start with you, Bhargav, what I want to understand from you is about this target itself, insurance for all by 2047. In your understanding, is this aim for the moon and you'll reach the stars kind of situation, or do you think the industry, if it comes together, this target can actually be achieved?
Thanks, Yash. Thanks for having us. Whenever you want to achieve a transformational change, you have to set, what we call big, hairy, audacious goals, right? And I would classify this as one of those. What we are seeing the regulator do after talking about this ambitious goal is to look at looking at the building blocks to ensure that this happens. And we've seen a lot of reform, be it in terms of product, in terms of distribution, in terms of ease of doing insurance business, in terms of attracting capital, that we believe will, kind of push us in the direction of achieving this, objective of insurance for all. So no, I don't see this as aim for the moon and reach the stars. We are hoping that we will aim and achieve whatever it is that we are achieving as an industry.
Prashant, same question to you. If this has to happen, of course, life insurance industry also has to play a very important role. Ambitious goal, but according to you, achievable if the industry puts collective efforts?
Absolutely, I completely agree with what Bhargav said. Unless we have ambitious goals, how will we achieve? The good part is, for the first time, we have a goal that we all want to collectively achieve. Before this, there was no common vision, there was no common purpose. I think with the common vision being there, I think the industry along with the regulator will channelize all the efforts to ensure that we are collectively moving in that direction. And under the leadership of our chairman, IRDAI, this vision is acceptable. It's a challenging one, I must say, but at the same time, I don't think it's beyond the realm of achievability.
Prasun, coming to you on the same question, in your understanding, for the right assessment of the industry, what should be the order out of penetration, coverage and density?
Thanks, Yash, for inviting me. I think India as a country, as you know, is both uninsured as well as underinsured. So if you look at health insurance, close to 400 million people do not have any health insurance coverage or any retail health insurance. 300 million people are basically those who are not a part of any government funded schemes. And 10 million are those people who are, opting for more health insurance coverage. So around 400 million people is really the target health insurance segment. Add up to that the entire healthcare inflation, which has been higher than CPI over the last 5 years. Add to that the issue of India being the diabetic capital of the world. Add to that, and the recent study has shown that an average middle-class family has to spend 1 to 4 times of their annual income on cardiovascular diseases and 2 to 7 times of their annual income on any kind of cancer-related diseases. And both these two examples are good enough to show that that this can lead to a lot of distress and can push some people below the poverty line as well. So I think from all these points that I said, I think all these three are important, but obviously penetration is extremely important because India has only around 13 or 14% of the total population who has got some form of health insurance, either government funded or retail and all put together. So a large part of India is uninsured. So penetration is really number one, and obviously coverage and density are two very close number 2 and number 3, I would say, to ensure that we actually get the overall aim of insurance for all by 2047.
Prashant, since you're the only one from the life insurance industry here on the panel, what I want to understand from you is that as we move towards this target of insurance for all by 2047, for the life insurance sector, what, according to you, quickly would be those 3 to 4 low-hanging fruits that need to be addressed immediately for you guys to move ahead smoothly?
I think there are a few, and if you really look at the overall opportunity, I think we'll focus firstly on product and product innovation. I think that's quite required. Historically, the life insurance industry has been quite biased towards selling very large ticket size. I think it has to be customized to the needs of people. And number two, as much as possible, digitize. I think we have not been able to reach broader masses. Actually, the penetration is much lower. If you go down in the hierarchy of number of cities, and as you go lower and lower, that's quite low. And doing that completely on the basis of physical infrastructure, physical distribution is going to be extremely difficult. Leveraging the overall ecosystem and leveraging distribution partners who could come in the fold and help expand as soon as possible is the second one, or maybe third one that we could leverage.
Next one to you, Bhargav and Ritesh both. You have a lot of portfolios to look at, be it health, motor, accident, so on and so forth. Starting with you, Bhargav, in your understanding, what are those 3-4 portfolios where there are very evident low-hanging fruits which need to be addressed?
Just look at certain of the segments that you talked about. In motor, for example, roughly about 58% of the vehicles on the road drive without insurance. Now, there are two issues. One is the compliance, and that collectively, this is something that only insurance companies cannot do, but compliance and distribution, both are important. Compliance from the authority side, to ensure that compliance happens, and from the insurer side, ensure that the product is available and accessible. On health care side, Prasun talked about the numbers. Clearly, we need to figure out a way to address the affordability challenge when it comes to the missing middle. And when we talk about the healthcare inflation, Prashant talked about that, and the cost structure that we are seeing. I don't think as an insurance industry, we can build affordability if the healthcare cost is at that level that it is. So collectively, and this is something that we and the healthcare ecosystem needs to come together to figure out a way to create products where, for the missing middle and for the lower strata of income hierarchy, we find insurance solutions. Lastly, I think there is a tremendous amount of reform that we need on the distribution side. The regulator is taking the first step on the bancassurance side, but let's understand the most competent and expert advice that you can get when it comes to insurance at a retail level is from agents. And at this point in time, agents are allowed to sell only one company's products. And getting that channel to sell more could be a massive game changer.
Ritesh, same question to you. Bhargav spoke about compliance, which is very important. Of course, there were various reports talking about how let's not give fuel to vehicles which do not have a valid insurance policy, so on and so forth. How does one really monitor compliance in that on major portfolios, be it health, accident and motor?
The whole issue from a compliance standpoint is really something wherein we need help from the administration to ensure that, it is a menace if vehicles sort of fly on the road without insurance. Now this is a concern for the industry as well as for the authorities. Now we need to essentially sort of go out and find a way that we are able to ensure this. Not giving fuel to vehicles which are not insured is one amongst the various sort of possibilities which can be there. But I think what is important is that if we are to sort of really go out and achieve this, in fact, one of the things which has also been done is to offer long-term products around this. What obviously sort of does become very, very important, is that there have to be a number of measures which need to be taken, which are sort of could be centered around this entire issue of spreading awareness as to, how this is mandated by law and everybody needs to have an insurance, sort of around compliance, ensuring that we get the whole issue of the accessibility right. And Bhargav and sort of Prashant alluded to some of those things. And of course, eventually sort of address the entire issue of affordability, where to my mind, apart from the various things that we do, if we are able to sort of address this entire issue around fraud and abuse, that helps in to some extent, in sort of reducing the friction cost.
On that note, let's take a very short break. A lot more discussion coming up on the other side of this very, very short break.